Google Classroom if you join by clicking the plus sign at the top right-hand corner right beside your email address, and you can enter this code to join the class. Then you will see where I have provided an agenda for you. What I've done with this agenda is I have made it so that it can make an individual copy for each and every single one of you. So you can click on it and it'll put your name beside it, and that can be where your notes go. So if you see something today that you think, oh, I really like that, or I really want to try that, or I think it's really interesting, then you can put your notes or anything you find on that page. If you are, I'm a paper person, I'm a little nervous about typing my notes into here because it's not going to affect all of us. Since your name's attached to it, it's your personal copy. So whatever you do, whatever you type on it, it's not going to change it. It's the same way that you would want it for your students, because you don't want them to go in changing things for each and every kid. So you are more than welcome to type on the agenda that I have attached here, because that's going to be your copies. But like I said, if you are a paper person and you still would like a paper copy, I did provide a copy of the agenda. Video really quickly, and you guys got to see the video yesterday, but I might pause and ask some questions, and some of you had some time to experiment with it, so I kind of want to get your feedback, see how you felt about it. But those who are new today, here's your opportunity to kind of see everything that Google Classroom can do. Now, I was telling them yesterday, the best way that I like to have my students join is just by joining using the code, much like at Moto, like you guys that we're used to, we're all familiar with. Adding them by email address just becomes too cumbersome. Yeah. So I just have them put in the class code when they enter their email address. Their email address, by the way, I don't know, some of us were kind of confused at the beginning how they should get in. All of my students have been able to get in this year by using their first and last name at g.Horry County Schools, the same one from last year. The M does not work. So if you use their first and last name at g.HorryCountySchools.net and then use their iPad password, they can get into Google Classroom. They'll be brought to a page where they can hit the plus sign and add you as their and add your classroom to their page. You notice, like especially for language arts or even for the TPQs, they can reply to questions inside of a document and click turn in. And if you set their assignment to make a copy for each and every student, their name will automatically be attached to it, which I love, because no names is the most frustrating thing as a teacher to have. So having their name directly attached to it is very, very nice. Awesome. ELA teachers in here I know, and even some of us regular social studies and math teachers or whatever department we are in would like to go home and be able to go home and just grade from your computer and not have to take these stacks and stacks and stacks of paper that you take home with you every day. That would be nice. Google Classroom will allow you to do that. Classroom, I've used it as a way for my kids to access iTunes U. I posted my iTunes U link inside my Google Classroom, and whenever I got my kids to log in, I kind of killed two birds with one stone, because now they're in my Google Classroom, and then once they clicked on the iTunes U link, it automatically enrolled them to iTunes U. So I didn't have to worry about, okay, later on, let's go back and let's try to log you into Google Classroom too. Let's say that in ELA, you want your kids to have a direct link to Achieve 3000, which they could get to from the Horry County Schools page, but you want them to have a direct link to something, direct link to Quizlet. You want them to have a direct link to USA Test Prep. All you got to do is copy and paste that code as an announcement, and it will take them straight to that webpage, which is what I like. It makes it easy, because you know how long it takes if they type in www dot and try to type in the web address. So I'm going to kind of just show you just a few features, and I'm going to let you practice. So this is my stream. Stream is where you would post your announcements. It's where I post my web links. It's where you make your comments, you post your assignments. Stream is where you want to post those things.
Like your Facebook.
Like your Facebook. It's your newsfeed. Okay? Students. That is where you will see all of the students who have enrolled into your course. You'll see, you can even have access to their individual emails and email it to them. You can also change it. Okay, we're in middle school, right? What is the number one thing that middle school kids like to do once they figure it out and they're logged in? Try to comment or post. And if you get nervous or if you're hesitant about that, you can change it to where only the teacher can post or comment, just like Edmodo, which is nice. And I leave it there. But sometimes you want to have students collaborate. Sometimes you want students to be able to comment. Sometimes you're at home and your students have a question about the homework and you want them to be able to post their questions and comment. So you can put it to where students can only comment or students can post and comment. But let's say it's just one individual student that's abusing that, then you can check their name and you can mute them to where they can't post or comment or anything individually, or you can remove them from the group. And then finally, your About page. You guys, we're familiar with this page. This is the page that Sarah posts all the documents and the files for our Google Classroom. But what I like about this is I put steps in there on how to create folders in Google Drive. And if you want to kind of practice with that, if you kind of had experience with getting into Google Classroom yesterday, you might want to practice creating files today. Because when you create individual files, then you can say, okay, this particular file is my Egypt file. My kids can go to this folder and access all of the resources on Egypt. Or this is my my word part file. This is where my kids can go and access all the word parts for this particular word part unit that we're studying. Or my science vocabulary that we're studying. You can create individual folders, which is nice. It organizes it all for you, and that's really easy to do. And then once you post the link to that folder, just like Sarah's does, your individual folders will pop up that the students will have access to. If you look at each of your stations, there is a practice session, and I kind of divided it up to where I have 3 stations, where I have a beginner, an intermediate, and advanced. And even if you feel like, well, I'm not sure if I'm a beginner, I'm not sure if I'm intermediate, I'm not sure if I'm advanced, the main thing that I would like for you to, and hope that you get out of this, is that you get some time to experiment with it. You get some time to see how it works. Those of you who may have tried to post an assignment today and had some kids go in and try it out, I would like to have feedback from you. How do you like it? How did it go for you in your classroom? If you're already using Google Classroom in your classroom, what do you think about it? What are your opinions? What are some things that maybe I missed that, you know, we could probably share with each other or talk about? So the beginner station, you're setting up a Google Classroom, and at the intermediate station, you're going to practice being a teacher, and you're going to create a demo class and have someone join your class and have them complete an assignment, and you're going to grade it. And then at the advanced, you're going to get some experience with Flubaroo, which is an add-on that you can have on an Excel. It's like multiple choice, creating a multiple choice assessment. For the Flubaroo, even if you are not at the advanced station, you're saying, oh, I want to know what Flubaroo is, or I want to try it out, there are videos attached to it. They're about 18 minutes long, so anytime you would want to, you can go back to this resource and click on these links and refer to them as much as possible if you would like. If you've already had that agenda in front of you, what you're going to basically do to get access to those links is click on the links themselves. If you click on the links themselves, it'll take you to where it has the instructions that you will see on your tables. It has the exact same instructions. So on my beginner table, it tells you set up a Google Classroom, follow the directions on here, click that link, and it tells you the directions on how to set up a classroom. Then it says that's your first task. Create one for each and every class that you have. Your second task will then be go to join a class and practice being a student. So maybe one of your teachers join one of your partners' classrooms and see what it's like to be a student and explore with that. Alright, so if I may I'm going to put Miss Tinker in charge at my beginner station. I'll put, all right, I don't know, nose ghost? Whose is it? Dr. Simone. All right. Read in charge of reading the directions and kind of guiding them through there, step by step. And if you guys, and if you want to, if you don't, and that is an advanced one, I believe, but if you want to click on the intermediate one and follow the intermediate steps, you can. That's fine, because you still have a digital copy. It really doesn't matter what's on your table. You can do the beginner if you want, and do the step by step there. And then, again here, you guys, you might want to explore with the intermediate one, or help Miss Jordan. We can help Miss Jordan in kind of creating classrooms and seeing how that works.
So here's your stream. This is what everybody will see when they first pull it up. Okay. Then if you click on students,
How did it go today?
It was good. I got all the way.
when you click on your students,
I only have one class, so I need to but I had do this.
So when you go to have your kids join, you're going to get the kids to the Google Classroom.
What did they type in?
Give them that code.
Yeah.
The same way we just did.
Yep. For your that's only for your third period. And then each class has a different code as you do that.
And then and then, but this is my question too, is like, cause I just made them turn it in so I could see it, but they can go back, go back into their like drive and just change their stuff and then it'll just change, right? Okay, yeah, that's so good.
Because it's automatically changed with the drive. No matter what they do, it'll automatically be saved to the drive.
So that's what I did, and I just did it with this class. My 6th period got like, we did a little question for them because we didn't have that much time. But, so then they all did this and we got their responses. Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of pause and kind of wrap it up for a second. I do have a question that if you could just take a minute, and all you have to do is add a comment right below it to respond to it. And Ms. Tinker already answered it from yesterday, which is wonderful, good job. But it's just asking, what is one feature of Google Classroom you learned today that you feel that you could use right away? And if you'll fill that out for me, I appreciate it. And I thank every single one of you for coming here today.